Some things have come to my attention. I've been doing a lot of testing. So what was my testing methodology behind the Hotfix 1.9? Well, the methodology behind it was honestly very simple. I was going to, for one entire week, be playing in the game console mode, and then I saw that AI on Google, and this is gonna sound so stupid, it said that using 444 chroma in PC mode, even for gaming consoles like PlayStation 5, lowers latency. And then it also said that it can lower latency from some other stuff by just being in PC mode on console in some situations. And then I was like, oh, okay. It's time to switch back to PC mode, enable 444. Forget about fine-tune colors, even though I really love it, and see, do I notice a difference? And just like, oh my god, instantly I noticed that it's like, it feels like it's 5 milliseconds faster. It's like huge. And I don't know if it's like a panel bug almost, because I feel like it's insanely huge. I don't know what it is. But yeah, my calibration then is done. I can't really do too much to the calibration. It's like we took the calibration essentially from Hotfix 1.6 and we made it a little bit brighter. That's what we did, and we made sure that we had as much color accuracy as possible. We also made sure that we had more color volume than before, so it's not as dim and as boring looking as 1.6, but it looks as nice and neat as it did. So it's brighter and has more colors than 1.6, and it looks as good as 1.6, but it looks better. It's not as crazy bright as 1.8, it's slightly dimmer. So if you want to stay on 1.8, do so, but just know the input lag, responsiveness feel of the TV and the PS5 and PC and whatnot overall is a lot better in 1.9. So take that into mind. But here's the thing, we're going to be using Game Optimizer, which you don't have to if you don't want to. And you don't have to follow all of the settings in this video, but I recommend that you do. This is the best calibration as of late, and this is the way I think everyone should be using their TV. So what we're gonna do first is very easy. I'm gonna hold the input key on my remote until I get to this screen right here. I'm gonna press on the 3 buttons up in the corner. I'm gonna go edit inputs. I'm gonna change the icon for my PlayStation or PC or Xbox to be the PC icon. I'm gonna rename it PlayStation 5 and then Pro. That's what my console is, and I think this is exactly how the metadata of the PS5 sends its HDMI signal. It's just forgetting about the Pro, because Sony didn't put that in for the HDMI signaler on the motherboard, so the TV is not picking up that it's a Pro, it's just picking up that it's a PlayStation 5. And then the TV does kind of a handshaky thing, and then it forgets that it's called PlayStation 5, and then just says PS5 game console. And that's the LG adding that. So I wanted to have the metadata information and add the Pro, so that it's almost like a Sony patch on the TV. I think that's cool. You don't have to think that's cool though, it's just something that I like. So it feels very premium in that way. Okay, so now the next thing that we need to do is very simple actually. And this is that we need to go into PC mode. We've done that, and now we need to enable 444 Passthrough. These two in conjunction will lower input lag tremendously. And guys, if you play Battlefield 6 beta and you're in the 60 Hz balanced mode on PS5 Pro or base PS5 and you use these settings, it feels like 10% faster in responsiveness. Like it's huge. You can feel it definitely. Okay, so enable 444 Passthrough, and let's see. So I don't forget about something. Make sure that AI service, you disable all of these. I don't know about the OLED care ones. I haven't tested this, but these might actually increase input lag, but they do protect our panels, so I think they should be on. Now, instead of the HDMI select HDMI signaler mode or menu, whatever, with the fake menu, secret menu, 111, 3, 111, It's really early in the morning, I just woke up. Calorimetry, BT2020 and BT2020 D65 on mastering color are important. This ensures that it always is able to reach the highest like color gamut reach that it can for reds, blues, pink. You get the idea, right? You need to have it on this. If you have it on if you have it on P3D65 and the same over here, you will notice when you turn off the TV, turn it back on, if you switch from auto detect to native, you will notice that the colors on pure red look a little bit more orange. So that's not nice. We want it to be able to reach its we want it to be able to reach its peak values always. When it's there, right? We don't want to. Oh my god, I'm staggering like crazy today. There we go. So BT2020 in this menu. EOTF, if you're on PlayStation specifically, you can put ST2084 if you're gonna be putting the console into HDR always on. If you're not gonna do that, if you're not gonna always boost it into, if you're not always gonna force it into HDR, then what I recommend is just put this to auto, honestly. And if you don't use a C4 LG OLED, don't copy mastering peak, max CLL and max fall. Leave these on auto. So if you're on a C4, these are the settings. If you're on any other LG OLED, only copy the what is it called? It doesn't show the name right now. I think it's calorimetry, but I don't want to misspeak here. Yeah, calorimetry, BT2020, mastering color, BT2020 D65. You can get the maximum panel peak from the display. Okay, now next setting. Advanced settings, brightness. Make sure that it follows like this: 100, HIG, off, limited, on. This might increase input lag. I will tell you guys about that in the future in the community posts on the channel to update you guys. But I have this on for now. It might be increasing it. I'm gonna have to check with AI on Google. That boy knows everything. And it's probably a lot of misinformation as well. I am of course joking. I am listening to what other people say and what AI says, and I will test for myself. And it takes a week or so to do that. It doesn't just, it's not like I hear Google say it and then I'm like, oh, it must be true then. And then I go in and I get like placebo. No. I'm actually doing a lot of testing like a crackhead. Like a crackhead? What the heck? Okay, so I found colors are really good looking with BT2020 forced on auto detect and on native, but they look a little bit more balanced and neutral, like natural, sorry, on auto detect. So I recommend auto detect. You can still get the highest peaks, but it won't boost the colors sometimes like it did on native. Now it looks a little bit more slated and cleaner in auto detect. So that's what I recommend for accuracy. You can pick native though if you prefer the look more with the colors on 1.8. You'll definitely get closer to those colors when using native. So if you feel bad that you are now losing out on fine tune, use native and you will still get kind of those colors, but not even really close. I gotta be honest. Okay, white balance. Warm 50. This is my recommendation and will always be my recommendation to do warm 50. You get less ABL, you get more brightness on average. And with my calibration, you shouldn't see any crazy greens. If you do see like a very slight green and you're annoyed by it, tell me in Discord and I'll help you to iron it out in a voice, like a private session voice call, and we will iron it out. Okay, low point. -29, -27, -35. That is the 1.6 low point. This is the best that the panel will get in my opinion. High point, we're gonna do +30, +27, +43. And that is to make the default values of 1.6 hotfix brighter for high point. 22 point is the exact same. It's -10, -10, -5, -10, -8, -10, -12, minus 10, minus 12. Okay, so 22 point code value, you go all the way down until it's at the bottom. You do minus 10 and you go up by increments of, I think it's 4. So it's 5 in total that you're changing anyways from the bottom. Okay, clarity, it obviously disables all of these. And now, the last thing of the puzzle, guys. Because now you're done calibrating. Now you're gonna go to settings on your PS5. And this is very, very key. But it's important to know, if you disable this option that we're about to show you, and most of you already will know about this option, but if you disable this, there's no turning back. I'm joking. No, but if you disable this function, we're gonna disable HDCP. If you disable this, you won't be able to use Spotify, Netflix, Disney Plus, or YouTube on your PlayStation. On your TV, you can still use all of these apps, which is the best way to do it, honestly, and that's how I do it all the time. But yeah, you won't be able to listen to music and stuff when gaming and whatnot. So, well, I don't like that at all, you might say, right? Well, then just turn it back on. You will do a handshake, you won't lose anything, but you will get more input lag when gaming in 120 Hz. So, can you have this on when gaming in 60 because you don't get any lower input lag, blah, 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 blah. I don't really know. I just know in 120 Hz gaming, it's noticeably a lot faster with the input latency or input lag measurements on the system side of the console. So not necessarily the TV becoming faster, it's the console becoming faster. Is this the case on Xbox or PC? I don't know, honestly. But I will be disabling this because I don't even use YouTube and Spotify anyways that much. Sometimes I use Spotify whilst gaming, then I will go in and turn this on. But most of the time, I would say 80% of the time, I don't even use HDCP. Okay, so these are the calibrated settings for LG OLED as of Hotfix 1.9, and I will see you guys in the next video. This is to make the panel look as cohesive and clean and good as possible. Like this is as humanly possible as we can make it. Like literally, we can't make it look any better than this. I would have to wait 4 to 5 years, buy that TV and make a new calibration for the LG OLED C8 or whatever to be able to like really start to get more out of the panel in a like really major way. Because right now, this calibration, it works for everyone. C1 all the way up to C5 and the G series, all the B series. So don't feel left out if you still have a C2 or C3. These settings will still make your panel look wildly better. For PC, for SDR, for HDR, even for Dolby Vision, right? And I have videos for Dolby Vision as well and whatnot. But yeah, you shouldn't be gaming in Dolby Vision. You shouldn't be gaming really necessarily in SDR. I don't recommend that at all. You can force HDR on your PS5, and I recommend you do that honestly, because my calibration really only looks good in HDR. Because when you go into SDR, it looks good in games, but the PS5's system UI or whatever, like this, the menus, they are in SDR technically. So if you're in SDR on the console and SDR on here, and you're using a calibration for HDR, you should notice that this becomes blue-black level rays, even though it should be fixed. So if you're in HDR always on, so you're forcing HDR, this issue doesn't come, it looks clean now. I can show you this live, literally, like if I go and I disable HDR, so now we're going into SDR here. Oh, and now we have, we have ST2084 being forced, so that doesn't work. As I said in the video, let's say. I just made the video 30 seconds longer than it has to be by me showing this. I feel so bad. Okay, yeah. I hope it's showing off on camera anyways, let's see. No, it's not showing off on camera. There we go. I'm gonna blow out the camera just to show you that it's clearly blue up here. And now we're gonna go back to ST2084. And we're gonna force HDR. And yes, there you go. It's not blue anymore. That is the specific reasoning why I don't recommend people to be in SDR on PC and on your PlayStation or Xbox, because it just, with my calibration, it looks great in games and movies and everything, even if you're in SDR in a movie. But somehow when you do my calibration for the gamma and everything with the 22 point, it messes with the near black gamma in SDR elements that are already kind of bad with the reach. So keep that in mind. It's not 100% like a end all be all great thing, because for HDR it's awesome, and for SDR it's awesome, and Dolby Vision is awesome, but it does actually give you some issues for the system UI on PC and on consoles. It's not like an issue that you would see in like screenshots or when gaming or when watching a movie or YouTube or anything, but you can see it specifically on gray. And that's not caused by me, because it's already there without my calibration. If you do default calibration on the TV and you go onto PC in SDR or PlayStation on SDR or Xbox, you should see it being a little bit blue near black. And my calibration still makes it a lot less blue near black, but I've tried and you can't remove that blue entirely. It's just some kind of a bug. I don't know where the bug is or how to remove it, but for HDR it's possible to remove it 100%. And it's in the 22 point in the lowest 5 steps. So we have removed it for that. And so if you're doing HDR always on, you're forcing essentially ST2084 gamma, but not the EOTF on SDR, but you're extending everything. So now you're tracking SDR properly, but it's only going to be 250 nits peak. And then everything above that will be HDR. So the EOTF will be tracked essentially, and now you're in the HID. And now you can track HDR and SDR all the way up when you're in-game optimized using HID and forcing HDR. And I think this is the best way to go, honestly. I think this is awesome. You can go into the HDR calibration here. And what you need to do then, if you're gonna do this, you need to make sure that you are not boosting white stabilizer first. So the default value needs to be 10. You need to be in a mode where you're not boosting any of these other ones either. Color on 49 as always. Sharpness on 0. And now we're gonna make sure that this is correct so I don't see the sun. Yes, and then making this to the darkest. Nice, okay. This is something that I need to tell everyone. Very important, before I can end the video. A lot of people in the community have said when you use sharpness on your TV, you can make the screen look blurrier in certain cases. This is why you make the image look blurrier. The TV detects film grain in a movie or in a game that is very slight, and it detects it accidentally, like if it were like a sharp line with pixels. So it tries to add anti-aliasing on top of this film grain. It can't add anti-aliasing on top of film grain. It's not how it was made with the algorithm on the TV. So what happens? Well, it kind of just slightly blurs the entire panel. This only happens up until sharpness 25, I believe. So sharpness 28, which what I normally recommend, this is not a problem. But for every single incremental value all the way down, if there is film grain, it might be blurring the image slightly with the textures on surfaces and whatnot. So keep that in mind. If you're watching a movie like Dolby Vision, sharpness 0 might be better because there's so much film grain in those movies that you actually might get blurry over an image. So yeah, I've done a lot of testing on that. It's how it is. And do you increase input lag by using sharpness? Yes, most likely. So don't use sharpness at all if input lag is something that you're scared of. And obviously use it if you don't care at all. Yeah. So now we can drag down white stabilizer again. I will give you guys some tips, which I believe are really cool. If you are always like you're in the apps, right? And you're watching a movie and you just want to be like, man, I would love if there was like a shortcut way to get to my PS5 without pressing on the remote. Because you can do that and you will go back into PS5 and now it didn't work for some reason. But yeah, you can do that. You can press on the PS5 key and you will go back into the PS5. But let's say that's not the way, man. I'm already holding this. I want to do it from here. So what you can do is be inside of your PS5, PC or Xbox, hold key 1 on the numpad, and now you have binded your PlayStation 5 Pro or your PC to num key 1. So if I now, let's go into YouTube, for example, and let's hold, let's say we're watching a video, Digital Foundry. Oh yeah, very good, yes. And we're holding num key 1. You should go into the PS5, just like this. It's the exact same speed as just clicking on the PS5, but now you know. Okay, so let's say you wanted YouTube to be on your num key as well. Well, you can essentially be on any app, any source, no matter what, and you can just hold any of these keys then on the numpad to bind them as a shortcut. This does not work for B5, C5, and G5 if you don't have this first generation Magic Remote. I don't think it's first generation. This is Gen 2. There's Gen 1, which is very old. People don't talk about that one anymore. This is Gen 2, and then you have Gen 3, which is the newest one. It doesn't have num keys and whatnot. And for those at home, you can buy that still. It's still being sold by LG and your local vendors, so go and buy one. I recommend these ones way more than the one that they are selling right now. And that's not to discredit them or anything. That's just that's what I think. Another thing that I recommend, that I think is pretty cool, you can do this. You can, I believe you hold the home key, and now you can pixel peep on your LG OLED. I don't think this is on by default though. So let's see. Wait, let me just disable this. Okay, so you can enable this by going up to accessibility settings. I believe it's accessibility settings. Yes, accessibility setting. Enable this, and now it will say hold the home key to disable and enable. So you're gonna hold it, and you should see this coming up in the corner. It's very easy to miss. And what you can do then, click here and change it to the highest value. That's what I recommend, so 200, and then go and disable it. Now, how do I enable it from the get-go then? Well, you don't have to be in this menu now, because now you've told the TV to use this mode always when holding the home key. So, that doesn't sound good, Tom. I don't want to remove the home key. No. Holy shit. You won't be removing the home key, man. If you're on the PS5 right now, and let's say you have some screenshot and you wanna preview this screenshot, but it's like you don't want to sit like this, you know? You're sitting from the couch 3 meters away. Hold the home key, and just like magic, and now you can move around and you can look very close and see how it looks. However, in this specific case, this screenshot is taken in low resolution, so it's very blurry, and I can see that very clearly. So it doesn't work too well for screenshots, I would say, but it works really well for when you're in like games. If you're in a game, because then you can look at the native res, you can even pixel count and stuff. It's pretty cool, actually. I think most people wouldn't be doing this, but yeah, I think it's cool. It's awesome. So yeah, do we have anything else? There are several other cool tricks that you can do on an LG OLED. I've bounded num key 1 for PlayStation, num key 2 for YouTube, because we don't have any hotkeys for YouTube, and number 3 for Spotify. So that makes the TV a little bit more easier to use. There are other keys that you could do. You can hold the home key and the settings key, I believe. Was it not those two keys? Yes. If you hold the home key and the settings key and this comes up, and then you tap it once, and then it says registering new Magic Remote successful. You've now recalibrated your Magic Remote. So let's say your Magic Remote is beginning to feel sluggish with the motion sensor and stuff. Now it's fixed. It's like 100% accurate all the time. And if it ever becomes bugged again, you can just use that hotkey. So yeah, this should hopefully help you out a ton. And one more thing. If your TV is getting a little bit slow and sluggish, maybe you have a C1 or C2, C3, and you feel like, yeah, I kind of feel sometimes like it's a little slower than before. Firstly, I definitely recommend that you check how much gigabytes that you have left on your TV. So I would go System, Additional Settings. Let's see, how do I check this? I don't really remember. Yeah, also inside of the Additional Settings, this is important. Going to System, Additional Settings, and Disable Live Plus. I recommend this fully. I don't really know what it does, but I know that it lowers latency on the TV. Go to pointer options. If you find the pointer too fast, change it to tracking speed slow. That's what I use. And then I like to have it on large so that the people on the video can see it a lot easier. Let's see. Where do I find the gigabytes on the TV though? That's the thing. The hard drive. I don't really remember right now. Well, either way, you will be able to find it. I just don't really want to waste everybody's time right now. But yeah, you can go to Memory Optimizer, press Start, and it will remove some cache memory that has been logging in the background. That's good to kind of just make it faster. Always make sure to update the firmware. And yeah, if you really still feel like it's too slow, you've most likely just installed too many apps. So what you can do is essentially go down here, hold on one app with the middle key, press up and press delete on those that you don't want. Now, I'm very good with managing my storage on this one, so it hasn't become slow for me. But if you have too many apps installed, maybe just installing apps left and right, they might be slowing down your TV like a ton, man. If you're using an SSD or a hard drive, just in general, if it's almost full, it's almost always going to become a lot slower. So keep that in mind. Try to make your TV have as much storage as possible with this hard drive, and it should be fine, guys. Okay, so thank you guys for watching this video. I should have helped you guys a ton by doing this video, and this is the Hotfix 1.9. And yeah, I will try to improve the TV more, but it's literally only going to be incremental values of tinting for the TV then when it comes to the white balance, and I think it's already perfect. But hey, maybe I could improve it more, so we'll see. But I am thinking this is most likely the last one, because we can't do any more fine-tuning of colors, and I think getting 444 chroma, being in PC mode, getting the lowest latency, and also getting color accuracy, correcting for the blue-black rays, knowing all of the stuff that we've learned, I think this will be the end. I don't know though. I could be wrong. I could be doing more improvements. I will also be doing, like, man, there are so many games that I could do calibrations for. Not calibrations, but game genre presets, you know, recommendation settings for these ones. For newer games that are coming out. We're gonna do that for GTA 6, a lot of games that you guys tell me all the time to do it for, so we're gonna do that. I'm gonna be streaming, so it's not like the channel is dying or anything. I have a lot of stuff planned for the future, so hope you guys don't miss that. But yes, specifically talking about LG OLED, panel, white balance, calibration settings, not gonna lie, I don't think we can do much more, because we just deleted the fine-tune option essentially, and that had some potential in there, of course. It's not that important though. It's really, some colors will be boosted, and then the latency will be slower on the TV because of it. So it's like, is it really that necessary? But yeah, I'll make sure to do more testing and see if I can get the TV to be even faster, which would be exciting. See which settings kind of make it slower and faster. And the only really way to notice that is not to turn it off, test, and then turn it back on, test again. No, you have to use it for like almost an entire week, listen to what people say with their schizophrenia on the net, and then disable it and see if did it feel a little bit faster or not. You get the idea. I'll do a lot of testing methodologies and see what I can find out. And hopefully you guys enjoy the TV. I'm really happy that you guys subscribe, and I honestly say, man, this community that I have built with you guys, it's amazing, and I feel so humbled and so happy to be able to be in this experience with you guys. I even got freaking Battlefield 6 for free from DICE and EA several days ago, which is, man, that would have never have happened without you guys. That is just like insane. So thank you guys so much for doing this for me, watching my videos, taking the time to comment, becoming a member on the channel. There are so many people that are based here, members. We're almost at 50 members now, and there are so many people that are choosing to pay more than the lowest tier just to support me, which is insane. So whichever tier you're on, thank you so much for even taking the time to pay monthly, man. It supports me greatly. You will never understand how much that helps. I am currently not working at all, so my only job right now is YouTube. So you're helping me out financially a ton. Nobody needs to be a member, but thank you so much for being a fan of the channel, for taking the time to watch my videos. I read all the comments. I want to support everyone watching. And as I said, just because we've now calibrated the TV and there is not much more we can do, there's still a lot of different subsets of differentials that we can do on the TV that are not even close to accurate, but can make it look really good looking. So whilst this is the last accurate video we can do, because there's always going to be so much we can do, there are other videos that I can make in the future for people that don't want accuracy necessarily, that want more from the panel. So that is exciting stuff. So this is the turning point. Now we've reached as good accuracy as we can. The future videos will be for other stuff, which is exciting, right? So thank you guys so much for watching. And if you have any recommendations or anything that you need help with, I'll make sure to help you out. But besides that, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.